morning I start with the shit jobs. So there was some insulation hanging down on the front end of the trailer in both corners. So I got underneath there and I cut all that out on both sides. So it's that was pretty tame compared to what was under the deck. So somebody in their infinite wisdom decided it was a good idea to insulate this deck. Excuse me. Oh, shit's in my eyes. And all this was packed up under the stringers and was basically nothing but a rodent nest and a hornet nest. So I had bumblebees living in this stuff this summer. They're gone now, thank God, but all of that stuff was stapled up to the underside of the stringers, and this deck could not breathe. So that being said, I want the deck to breathe. I want to be able to rinse the deck off with a power washer and have it run underneath. So yeah, that was the job I was looking forward to the least, was fishing all that shit out of there. It went pretty smooth, but right away at 8 o'clock in the morning, get her done. So now what I have to do is I have to get back under there with the leaf blower on that front section and blow all that crap out of there. Blow all the crap under the deck out from under the deck. And then I can lay this front piece. So this is how I do it. I go under the trailer, I take my measurements from my pillars. That's where those concrete pillars are. Take good measurements. And I lay the sheet out here, and then I trace it all out, cut it all out. That way when I drag it underneath there, it just lays in there perfect. So that's been working swimmingly well. So that's the last piece right there that has to go in the front. So first thing I'm going to do is get under there with a leaf blower, get all that crap out of there again. And then I'm going to take the garden rake under there. There's some pits and shit like that. And I'll try to level everything out the best I can. Smooth it over, and then I can lay that piece of tarp. And then when I do that, the waterproofing vapor barrier will be done. And then I can focus on the sections where the insulation is dropping out. So that's going to be a long process. That's going to be one section at a time, because like I said earlier, I want to be able to secure all of this stuff up to the underside of the trailer with metal mesh cloth, so that it has really good structural support and it stops sagging and bowing. I'll bring the camera underneath there with me and show you kind of what I'm talking about. But what they did, and this is ridiculous, I don't understand why anybody would do this, but here, I'll show you an example. So this is the underlayment under the trailer, okay? This is what's between, let's see if I can show you, right up there. This is cardboard, okay? It gets damp, it gets moist under here, and that stuff gets soft, and then you end up with problems with it ripping away like you saw. Not only that, but they cut access ports in the center of each one of those sections. I don't know, maybe so they can stub a pipe through or something like that, who knows. But those are the first areas to give out, to get weak. Not only that, but now a rodent somehow gets inside between that stuff and the floor, and it now has a easy way to crawl out and drop down. It's just ridiculous. Piss poor design. So, like I said, I'm gonna take chicken wire and Tyvek house wrap, and I'm going to secure it with the chicken wire. The Tyvek house wrap is just strictly going to be, I'll show you what I'm talking about for those of you that don't know. Well, this is Tyvek house wrap, this stuff. So that's actually a moisture barrier. They wrap houses in that. So when you see a new construction and you see the house is all what looks like wrapped in paper, that's a moisture barrier between the wood and the siding. It's a woven material. See here? Let's see how the rats can chew through that. No problem. But it's a woven material and it breathes, but it doesn't, somehow it doesn't allow moisture in. Sorry. Ugh. Even with a mask on, I'm eating the shit. So I'm gonna put this, you see how this has a white side? There's a roll of that was left under this deck when they put all this stuff up under the deck to hold the insulation in. They left the rest of the roll under there. So, freebie. So I'm going to take that. I got it back here. There's not much here, but this stuff I don't think is very expensive. There it is. So this white side, I'm gonna put that facing down, and that will brighten it up under there. So that, and all I'm gonna do is just put it up after I do the insulation repairs and staple it to the cardboard. And then I'm gonna put the chicken wire over the top of that, and then I'm gonna use a bottle jack with a board, a big piece of plywood, and I'm actually gonna use a bottle jack and just compress the areas that are all bowing and sagging, and then secure it with a special kind of washer that goes onto a drywall screw. And I'll try to figure out where the floor joists are running in this thing, and I'll secure it to that, and it ain't never coming down. Not only that, but since the mesh, let me show you, see if I got it handy here in the shed. Since the mesh I'm using on the chicken wire is so fine, it's like 1/2 by 1/2 squares. Here it is. How the lighting is in here. This stuff. Okay. No rat's gonna chew through that. They can't chew through metal. So that's gonna go underneath, get compressed up with the insulation, with the house wrap, and then secured with a special kind of flat washer that you can run a drywall screw through the center of to hold all that up. And I'm going to go a section at a time and shore up each section. It's going to take a while. I bet I won't get it done before the snow flies, but at least I'll get all the sections like this. Here, let's lay under here once, because I got a suit on. I can do this. Look at this. This is the bathroom section that I just repaired. This is the subfloor that I built underneath the vanity and underneath the water heater. And that's a box, and it's full of insulation. So I did that from the inside. You know, I built the box first, and then I secured it into the stringers, and then I filled it with blown insulation from the inside, and then put new floor sheeting over the top. But here's how this is set up. So here's that cardboard. Look at the rat tunnel. See that? That's a rat tunnel. All right. All that black shit, that's all rat turds. This is awful. Look at that. So this cardboard has this pink insulation attached to it, just a thin layer about like that. And then that gets set on the girders. It gets laid down on this steel frame first. Here's the stringers coming off the sides. That gets laid down first. Then somebody goes through the building and blows, first they put this moisture barrier up. That's first. Look at what the rats did. And this gets stapled to this to protect the wood from moisture coming up this way. Then at least I think that's how it's done. Huh, now I'm confused. With this white stuff, that's blown insulation. Now I'm wondering. I shouldn't waste any brain power thinking about it. But all this kind of crap has to be cut out and redone. This is where the bathroom vanity was, the sink. You can see some of my new screws here. I'm trying to think, what do I have attached right here with these new screws? I don't know. Well, let me think about this. Here's a big ass power cable. Yeah, that's the bathroom. This is the feed coming in for the electrical box. So my bathroom wall is right here. So this must be some sort of a support brace or something that I put on there. But anyway, this is just a shit show. So all that has to be cut out, and then new insulation has to be stuffed up, you know, in the stringers in the cavities. Looks like I got to put up moisture barrier first. And then on the underside, I'm going to use the Tyvek house wrap and chicken wire to replace this cardboard. I mean, watch. Who does that? I mean, these things underneath here are damp and humid. And look under the toilet. That's where the toilet comes out. Look at that whole section blown out of there. The whole section over there, that's where the bathtub, where I had a leak in the drain and I didn't know it. And the bathtub, every time I ran water in the kitchen sink, it was pouring out of the pipe, and all my new insulation, the break, just happened to be in the area that I had just done all the rework in the bathroom. All that insulation got waterlogged and heavy and just blew, literally blew the bottom right out of this thing. Yeah. So I got my work cut out for me. But, you know,
The bright side is the underside of this is going to be all nice and clean and neat when I'm done. Everything's going to be all tidied up, secured, buttoned up. What it's supposed to look like, let's crawl under here, is that. See how that's nice and tight and up where it should be? It's starting to bow right here. But when the thing was brand new in 1974, nice neck waddle. When it was brand new in 1974, that was all nice and taut and tight, and it was pretty under here. So somebody had, if I could afford this, somebody did this. See that foil? That's what I want to do. Ultimately, that's what I would like to do. The reason being is that is reflective. So not only does it reflect the cold coming off the ground here, coming up and bouncing off the top, so nothing can get absorbed into the floor, you know, from the cold in the winter, but it also reflects light. And my plan is to put a string of LED lights underneath here, front to back, and all I got to do is flip a light switch, and the whole place will be lit up underneath here if I ever had to get under here at night for anything. I did, since I'm under here, I did redo the heat tape. This is the sewer pipe for the toilet, and then the rest of the household plumbing ties into this stack under the floor. Look at this. Look at how this is about ready to blow. Oh my God, that's all. That's from the toilet leaking. The toilet was, the wax ring on the toilet was bad, and it was leaking water, and that son of a bitch is ready to rupture. Oh boy. And it feels wet. I fixed that. I put a state-of-the-art, here, you can see how this works. This is how it's set up. So there's the pink insulation that's attached to this cardboard. It's just about an inch thick, that's all. Then the vapor barrier, and then the blown insulation on top of that from the top is what I'm thinking, as they did. But anyway, the heat tape on this sewer stack, see the black pieces of electrical tape? That's how they had that attached. So it was literally hanging. It wasn't even making contact with the pipe. It was just hanging down in loops. I'm like, what the hell good is this doing? So I came under here with foil tape, ran the heat tape along the bottom side, because that's where ice is going to form, and affixed it with foil tape. That's going to work wonderful. Yeah, this is a whole different world under here now from when I started. I should have crawled under here and made video before I started, but yeah. So here's my water supply line. This is what I'm laying on right here. There's where it comes in, and it comes around here, it curls around here, and then it goes up, and that's where my water heater room is, right where it comes up through the floor. So the upstairs side of that has all been redone, but under here obviously needs some TLC. So we're gonna rip all that out of there and redo it. And I wanted to put a fireplace in before winter. I don't think that's happening, Tim. So, yeah. So now all I gotta do, like I said, is I gotta get the leaf blower out again, blow all that crap out of the front end, snake that tarp that's sitting out there waiting, staple that down. Then I'll probably go over everything again with the leaf blower and clean it all up nice. And then I start figuring out what I'm gonna do on these sections underneath here to fix them. So that's where we're at. welcome to my shit show.